We are live. This is the Blathering Live, episode 175. It's me, Cat Knapsack. This is a show in which we hang out, we take calls, we talk news, culture, sports, weather, science, dumb things, squirrels. It's a whole lot of stuff, and it's all built on the community made up by all of you. I am just here to make sure you all have a place to be, and I love it. We have nothing planned tonight. Blank sheet tonight. So that means in the hour plus that I'm going to be here, and it is an hour plus because I do have to go to a drag show tonight. Go to a drag show to celebrate a birthday for a friend of mine. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that means I have a little bit of a hard out tonight. Also, if you want to call in the show, you know how to do it. YouTube channel members get to call in. Patreon supporters at patreon.com/catnapsuck get to call in as well. All right. Producer Steve will be here in a second. Jerry, the Cannon Junkie, is going to get fired for this. I'm so dedicated. I'm doing it at work. Praise me. Everyone praise Jerry. We got to get Jerry a day job so I can have him on the show all the time. He shaved his beard recently, Jerry the Cannon Junkie, and he looks good. I'll say this, he looks good. It just, I've only known him as a beard guy. When I tuned into the Bombad cast last week, it kind of freaked me out a little bit, I'll be honest with you. Praise be, Jerry, praise be. Kingsport Cal says, Ken's always got to go somewhere. Yes, Cal, I like to get out of the house, all right? I don't want to sit here and stare at the squirrels all day. No major Squirrel Center update. They've been around. Got a lot of good footage last week, but I've been a little busy, as Cal will let you know. I had 2 shows last night at Flappers, Cal. 2 shows. But I did feed them today. All right? They've had a good meal, the squirrels. Tully Quinn is working too. You all, don't get fired for me. Don't get fired for me. Addie says, love the community so much, and we love you being part of it here. Start the show tonight by saying, hey, happy Pride Month. We're in June. Yep, you could be cynical and say, get ready for all the department stores to put out their rainbow stuff. And yeah, I think you should be absolutely cynical about that. I think this last half year has proved that. Looking at you, Target. But it's easy just to say happy Pride Month. You should say happy Pride Month. But I saw right before it went to air someone complaining online. And I think it was someone reposting someone complaining, which put a pin in that. Maybe producer Steve will remind me if I forget to talk about reposting bullshit. But the bullshit was the thing we hear often, but in 2025, it's the fact that we still have to deal with the how come they get a month? How come we're not celebrating straight month? We have been celebrating straight month every month for every year since pretty much the dawn of time. Celebrating or highlighting one month is not just all celebration. Pride Month has a longer, more complex and important history as well, but it's turned into kind of a celebratory vibe, and I think we're here for that as well. We are here to not just celebrate, but to point out, to elevate, to help with equality and equity for this particular group, and it should be the way for any other group that we want to highlight on every month. So, I'm in a good mood about that. I'm heading out to West Hollywood tonight to a drag show that is a standby. It's a staple every Monday night at this venue. And I went a couple years ago for a birthday party, and we're going to go again tonight, and I cannot wait. My dream scenario is that I, a straight, get called up out of the crowd to lip sync to Pink Pony Club, just a few minutes away from the Abbey, which the song is based on. Which I saw someone write, I don't even get to what so. The Abbey's still there. It's a standard. It's a classic. I've been to the Abbey. But it's like, I don't know. It's interesting she chose that. It makes sense at Chapel. All right, let's not go down Santa Monica Boulevard and Robertson Boulevard lore there right now. But anyways, I'm excited tonight. I hope I get called up on stage somehow, get plucked out of the crowd so I can sing Pink Pony Club at a drag show. Is it a life goal? It's one of them. It's absolutely one of them. Look at how I've been so, like a lot of you, depressed by the news of the world that I decided to, I played a little less video games this weekend, and I decided to watch more things. So what did I do? Being depressed by the world, I decided to watch the uplifting Turning Point Vietnam doc, finish that, and then went straight into the Osama bin Laden Manhunt 3-part series. Binged that in its entirety last night. Now I'm rewatching Turning Point, The Bomb in the Cold War. Really uplifting stuff is what's going on in this house. So maybe today we'll try to be uplifting, and maybe out there you all can help in the uplifting. Kyle Harlow says Ken is hot to go. HOTTOGO. Hot to go. It's a fun song. It's not my favorite Chapel song. Casual's actually probably my favorite Chaperone song. But I, as a straight guy, I think I have less access or right to sing that song at a karaoke event. Red Wine Supernova. Jerry the Cannon Junkie says, I'm more of a Red Wine Supernova guy. Great choice. I actually think that is, there's not a better or worse. I think that's a great fucking song. And that is a great song to work out to drive to, or even to cry in the fast food drive-through line too as well. So there we go. King's Fork House says, speaking of war, I think I figured out my bayonets again. Or my bayonet's origin. Oh, that's scary. All right, let's bring producer Steve into the show. Steve, how are you doing? It's a scattershot show tonight. We're all over the place. How are you?
I'm great, Ken. Thank you again, as always, for having me. Cal, what the hell are you talking about your bayonet's origin? Did I miss something? Does Cal have a bayonet?
On the last time he called in, he talked about having a bayonet of some sort in his collection, and it had like some writing on it, and we were unsure. And, you know, because of the area in which Cal lives, I was slightly worried that what team might have had that bayonet in the 1860s.
Oh, I'm not worried, Cal. We know what team had that bayonet in the 1860s. Come on now.
Maybe Cal's great grandfather took it off the dead body of a Confederate soldier. All right, now we're getting dark and
I didn't go there. You did, but I don't know. Maybe I missed that part of the conversation. I apologize if I did. If I was here and I was famously four beers into the show and I just don't remember. But you know, I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes here producing, so I don't really remember all the finer details. You know, I try.
Steve, I want to talk a little bit about Friday night. I heard a little bit of the stream. You had a marathon stream on Blathering backstage Saturday night, right?
That is correct. Yeah, we went 3 hours again on Saturday, even though I spent the last hour saying that we were about to wrap it up. But you know how Jared, and I'm not going to say Addie because she was falling asleep, but you know how Jared and some of those folks can be. Peer pressure's a bitch, Ken. They just wanted to keep spinning the wheel and hanging out. So we had a good time.
The wheel's great. And what, you know, Steve's going to become the superstar here. I'm just going to be in the way. But a lot of the things that it's like a romper room. It's a workspace over there, and we'll start bringing things over here very soon. What keeps you going at the 2-hour mark? That you're like, let's keep. It's like sometimes I'm on the wangers and I look at them about 2.5 hours in. I'm like, we're still going, guys. What moves you forward, Steve?
It's the people. Ken, the people keep me going. The people are my fuel. I wouldn't be there talking to myself for an hour and a half if it was just me and two other people. I don't want to turn the lights out on a good party. And the way that we've kind of structured the backstage is I've let folks come in and hang out and kind of do like the one-on-one time. And then at the end, if I say, hey, you can hang out, welcome to chill. And then at the end, I bring everybody back and we all spin the wheel together, right? So we have a big old party to spin the wheel. So it kind of, you know, that's how the show ends up elongating itself. Is the more people call in, the longer that line gets, and all of a sudden we've got a whole beach party to spin the wheel.
Look, I love all of this. I'm so happy the channel exists. We got some clips, some shorts up there, all those things. Help us subscribe over there. We'd love to, one day get up to 1,000 subscribers here. I'd also one day love to get 200 active viewers here on this show. That's a small goal. I have over 4,000 subs, which has been a number I've been stagnant at for a long time. I lose about 3 every week, and then I gain 2 or 3. It's weird. But only about 100 to 200 of those to 300 of those are actually active, involved listeners. So help us grow by going over to Blathering Backstage. There's a link down below to subscribe if I did the right description. Sometimes I copy and paste an old one. That's my problem. So Steve,
we'll get it all figured out.
Before we I'm going to talk about Friday night. I heard Brady talking about it a little bit, but I was listening, and I got to tell you something. I don't want to make this all inside jokes for people, but that's what makes community stronger, is the shared inside jokes. I do have a bone to pick with you.
Uh-oh. I knew I was going to get in trouble.
Pick it?
That's fine. I knew I was going to get in trouble eventually, so go ahead. We've gone, I think, 4 streams now. I haven't had Ken hasn't said a word to me, folks. He hasn't said anything about, hey, maybe try this, maybe do one of these. I'm glad we're having this conversation for the first time on air, Ken. So lay it into me. What's up?
Let me ask you this: is that a little disconcerting or off-putting, my silence?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, if anything, it's more of you trust me to do, like, hey, go play in your sandbox and let's have fun.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I'm glad you answered that way, because that's the truth. I've watched almost every stream you've done. I put it on the background. Sometimes I'm live. A lot of you don't know I'm actually lurking live. I'll have it on the background if I'm doing something, because I can't do a show that night. Doesn't mean I'm not around the studio. You guys are great. No. You misrepresented something, and I just want to clear the air on this here.
Okay, please.
I don't have a problem with collared shirts, Steve. I have a problem with polo shirts specifically. If the length of the sleeve goes past the shoulder to the forearm to the wrist, I'm on board. In fact, I like collared shirts. That's why I held on to polo shirts for so long.
Okay, so it's my bad. That's my bad. I was a journalism student. I pride myself on having correct information. We will. Ken, the next time we go live, I will issue a full correction, and we have to make sure that the Blathering Backstage channel is sacred, and that we're not spreading fake news or anything like that. So I'll own it, Ken. You're right. You're absolutely right. I'll own it. That's my bad.
Svetnik
is that
defended
it?
Me.
Because if that's it, we're good.
Oh, that's it. That's it. That's
Okay,
it.
good.
That's it. Svetnik defended me. Polo the brand of the style. Will McLean, the style. Because I don't think I could ever in my life afford a polo shirt. Just the style. That's all. Because I did have a collared shirt on. Friday night. I wore it loose. I unbuttoned it. Now tonight, when I go to West Hollywood, I am going to wear a t-shirt and put a tie over it. I've got a reversal of what I did Friday night. Friday night I had what did I have? The kind of blue tie and the pink top. It's going to be a blue top and a pink tie with a white jacket, color appropriate for the event and the month. But it's going to be a collared shirt. Well, tonight it won't. But most of the times it's a collared shirt.
Ken, this is how we get you blown up on TikTok. We're gonna do 49-year-old man, white straight man fit checks going to the drag race bar event on TikTok. Then your fit checks for your birthday parties, for your baby showers. We have plenty. The TikTok doesn't need more 24-year-old, very attractive young women doing fit checks for God knows going to the grocery store and for college football games and everything. What we need is more 49-year-old straight white dudes giving us fit checks for their black button-down shirts and black jeans.
I like this. I don't have the energy tonight to do it for content, but because I don't go on TikTok a lot, as you know, and we'll talk about TikTok later in the show. But I'm on Instagram and I see the reels all the time. In fact, when my search bar button is mostly just like reels that pop up. Do you have this, Steve, where there's a long list of Instagram or TikTokers that you watch regularly yet are not subscribed to, but because you see them so much in your algorithm, the algorithm's like, oh, you like this person.
Yes, and that happened. That's been part of my TikTok journey with it's specifically local people, folks that I don't follow, but because the TikTok overlords know exactly where I am at all times. They know that there's these other creators are in the DC area, so they serve me stuff like that. So I know exactly what you mean. But I'm not on Instagram or anything like that. I'm only on on TikTok. I'm not on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that.
Why aren't you on Instagram?
So we can get in if we want to do the whole social media story thing. We can, but no, I got off of Facebook and stuff like that a long time ago. Yeah, short answer was I like I said, I've did it for work for so long, and so after a few years of doing it for work, I completely detached myself from all personal social media for a while. I already had a long-term girlfriend, so I wasn't worried about like the whole red flag of not having any social media dating and all that kind of jazz. I got so lucky, Ken. I got to skip all of that. Right?
Is that a red flag?
Oh yeah, the young people tell me nowadays if you're out there and you're dating and stuff and you have like zero footprint on social media, people will just assume you're a serial killer. Yeah, for sure.
That's fair. I agree with that one. Actually, hear about it. Yeah, you'd mentioned the fits. There is a teacher, a school teacher. I don't know what grade. I think a little older, maybe junior high, maybe high school. And she has like a fake eye. Have you seen this girl? And she has like I think an eye that she has like a prosthetic eye.
Yeah.
And she does fit checks.
Yeah.
And it's like teacher fit of the day. And I got no negative words for her, no positive. I just like it's mesmerizing. I'm like, how do you do this every day? How do you put this out every day? And she does a little dance and unveils the things that she's wearing. So if that's what you want me to do, I think I'll have to figure that out, Steve.
I think there's something there. I think there's a lane there that you can fill, Ken. Let's just put it that way.
Also, do you? I'm making a list of Instagrammers I don't follow, but I see.
But you see all the time, yeah.
Lindsey Sterling. Do you know who Lindsey Sterling is?
The violinist.
The violinist.
Yes. Yep.
Not subscribed at all. I've seen 2,000 of her videos.
Yeah.
She's
everywhere.
I've done the deep dive on her. She's interesting. I think she's talented. She's a Mormon and a teetotaler, doesn't drink. Like we talked last week. I have no problem with that. But she enforces it on everyone else on her tour bus. And
with the Mormonism or the not drinking?
The not drinking.
Oh.
And that enrages me. But I'm obsessed with I can't explain it, Steve.
So I remember Lindsey Sterling. I saw Lindsey Sterling on YouTube like 10, 15 years ago doing like video game covers of like, she was like, hot chick playing violin and doing like the Zelda theme, and stuff like that. And she was like twirling around in a forest, cosplaying as Princess Zelda with a violin. That's what I associate with Lindsey Sterling. And then she ended up on, like America's Got Talent or one of those TV shows, something like that. And she got mainstream famous, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And then she ended up doing halftime show. She did some All-Star Game or halftime show.
Yeah,
she did
and they didn't
some
show
Maytime
her,
sports stuff.
It was NFL, and they didn't show her at halftime. Like they didn't broadcast it out. Like she had to share footage herself. But I'm telling, this is like, and I by the way, I respect her talent and I respect her story.
Yeah.
I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
She's super good, and she got rejected early on a big level. And she worked. This is not.
You did the whole 48 hours thing on Lindsey Sterling, did you? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Because
wow.
I kept going. Who the fuck is this? Why am I seeing this person doing all these dance? And I'm like, what's happening here? Why is it in my algorithm? And then, of course, the more you interact, the more Instagram's like, oh, you like violinists who do dancing.
Ooh.
And so I did. I did the deep dive.
Okay. Well,
I don't know.
Anyway, what the hell were we? Where were we getting? How did we get here?
This is the point of the show, Steve. I don't know.
Oh, Instagram people you don't follow that you see all the time. That's what it was.
Kasha Campbell.
Okay.
I know dancer Kasha Campbell. I don't follow her. She's
that's
all over my Instagram.
First time I've heard that name.
And the point is, and by now I know why, because I interact with I watched them, so I get it now. But I don't know how it started in the beginning. That's what fascinates about the algorithm to me. That's what's fascinating.
Well, you can. I learned this a little bit, and when we talk about TikTok, I'll mention this more. But you can totally screw up the algorithm from the very start if you just put your phone down at the wrong time while a video is playing, and then the algorithm just assumes you're obsessed with that phone because you let it loop 3 times, even though you just put your phone down because you have to throw something away.
Right.
And then it's all over. It's all over from there, even if you don't do anything else. But
it's all over now, my baby blue. What have you learned on TikTok? Share. Let's go into it.
I
got nowhere to go. I'm blank slate tonight. I've written the words Lindsey Sterling and Kasha Campbell.
Okay, so we've made excellent progress. Yeah, so I'm doing this thing as part of what I'm doing on Backstage, where I created a whole new TikTok account for producer Steve, and I wanted to just see. I am a brand new, white mid-30s, red-blooded American starting TikTok. Zero input into the app on what it knows about me, right? TikTok is just like, oh, we got a fresh one, right? So what is it going to serve me, right?
Looks
what is it going to give me?
on the menu, boys. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So we talked about a little bit about this on Saturday, and so immediately what it served me was hot chicks telling me that liberals they would never date liberals, crypto bros telling me how to make money on TikTok, and then basically something about like and then like a bunch of like survival instinct kind of stuff all my ads were for like axes and like pocket knives and like shit so that if there was a zombie apocalypse tomorrow I would be able to survive in the woods. Yeah, those were the ads.
Oh look, Jerry the Cannon Junkie followed me on TikTok. I never followed him back. Should I follow him back?
No, yeah, of course. No, we love Jerry. I love Jerry.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
I'll follow him back. I don't go on TikTok ever. And do get notified of Jerry's posts? Hell no. Okay. What's your account?
Producer Steve _.
Oh, Producer Steve. Oh, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, someone already had some asshole already had Producer Steve. Go figure.
I want them to die.
Well, that's in Minecraft. YouTube's gonna get mad at you if you say that, Ken. That's all.
I want them to unalive. Okay. I can't find Producer Steve. It's not showing up.
Yeah, it's just Producer Steve _. No, you should try the underscore at the end. Like I said, I haven't done anything. I've put like 2 TikToks on there that were shorts.
How stupid do you think I am, Steve?
Not very.
Not very. It's not popping up. All right. You follow me at some point, and maybe I'll follow you back.
Fine, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why I only have 1 follower. This all makes sense now. No, Ranger Donald's trying to find. Why did Ranger Donald figure it out, but not you, Ken?
Ranger Donald's smarter than me. Ranger Donald.
All right. Well, then you answered the question. Fair enough. All right.
Have you ever seen Ranger Donald pilot a Fortnite boat on the ground? I watched Ranger Donald take a Fortnite speedboat and go halfway across the map on land. Greatest Saturday
you've seen me do some fun
life.
things you've seen me do some fun things in a TIE fighter, but
I am. All right. Yeah. What did I say? Put a pin in.
I don't know. Talking about we were talking about why I was on TikTok, which was again I made this account to experience TikTok in the wild, and then I looked up some how should I post these kind of things. So I made like some experiment posts. I just used some YouTube shorts. I made one post last night that was just totally random based on other things I saw. So I'm letting the algorithm come to me and letting it tell me it's awful is what I'm learning is it's awful. Like if you were just now starting TikTok and just getting on there and you're just a naive person who knows nothing about internet or pop culture or anything like that, like what's going on or why things are, oh my goodness, you were just getting fed like brain rot. Like I understand why the kids say brain rot now because it's so real. It is so real.
But we got to be there. Yeah, I want to I've watched the Wangers. By the way, I'll be on the Wangers in 2 weeks, folks. Not tomorrow, not tonight, but next. What is that? That's a week. Next Monday night, I'll be on the Wangers. I've watched them grow a lot on TikTok. But they're leaning into it, and they're crossing 10,000 subscribers.
There you go. Wow. See,
why did my mustache just fell apart? It went to my mouth.
Oh, I hate that. That happens to me.
Fuck is that?
That happens to me all the time. Whenever I'm like, if I eat a little something that just kind of gets something together, and then you bite it. Have you ever bitten a piece of your mustache and then like a quarter of an inch of your hairs come off? And there's like 4 or 5 hairs, and you're trying to get them out forever. Oh, it's the worst.
You do not know how loud I scream when I bite my lip or my mustache, or put a soda back, and the pull top yanks the hair out. And I know. Beauty is pain. I know. But I scream, mother.
It takes work to maintain things. But yeah, so
Addie got it. See, leave it to the professor of smart things. Put a pin on reposting things.
There you go. I have that. I have reposting bullshit on my notes right here. It says reposting bullshit. That's what you meant to put a pin in. I do have that pin. I didn't know that's the pin you meant. Okay.
But my point is, when I saw that thing about pride tonight, I was happy to see it because I wanted to address it. But I do think we have to be careful how much we quote retweet or repost or take a screenshot to dunk on people. That spreads more of the bullshit than the people who are spreading the bullshit. I've learned this in the Star Wars world. Talk about algorithm, because I don't interact with all the fuckity fucks in the Star Wars world. So when someone has a dumb theory about Star Wars, and I don't see them, I don't interact. I might have even blocked or muted them. I don't know. Well, probably not muted because I see it, but and then it's the other people going, look at this idiot, that causes me to see it.
Right.
And spread more hate and anger and frustration in the world. If we just ignored them, if we just went on with our lives, I think we'd be in a better spot. Am I crusty on that?
No, you're not. Ken, that's unfortunately that goes against the whole point of the internet, which is to yell at people and what is it? It's like they say in the Jay and Silent Bob movie, the whole point of the internet is just go on there and just shit on movies you don't like and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
That's unfortunately what people kind of get a rise out of, and I'm with you on that. I don't like to engage in the negative shit because dude, life is hard enough and I got enough shit going on. I don't need to deal with you being an asshole to me on the internet about, fucking Star Wars of all things.
Exactly.
For the love of
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway.
We have some calls lined up,
Happy
Kyle
places.
and Cinder, but before we get to that, I do have an update on my events on Saturday. I Did go to that baby shower, and I am happy to report that not only was alcohol available, it was part of the event. There was a beer chugging contest.
Oh, okay. That's a lot.
I didn't participate. My cousin Morgan did, and I'm very proud of her. She almost won. She came first in of the ladies competing. She was first. Very proud moment. She came in third overall. But I was very happy. Good food, good treats. Had a beautiful banana pudding. I love Steve. Had 2 of them. I don't know if I was supposed to have 2 of them, but I went back and grabbed one. But there were some beers. At least there were some beers, and it made me feel better.
No, that's good. Yeah, see, I try to tell you, like a good baby shower has the social ambiance, so that for the people who, maybe don't necessarily, it's not their first choice of how to spend a Saturday afternoon, you at least are providing them with that. So good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kingsport Cal asks, what was the gender of the baby? Did they do a reveal? This is funny because I showed up in a pink hat and a blue tie. And I just kept saying to anyone that asked, I just kept saying gender is a construct, and I could tell that I was upsetting some people.
Playing both sides.
I could tell. I was like, I just was like, they're like, oh, nice outfit. I said, yeah, gender's a construct. But I'm not even lying. Because I could tell there was probably some Republicans there. So I was just like, I'm gonna needle you if I can. While I have my banana pudding. And Tully's right. Banana pudding and beer. It was a great combination. But it is a girl at this point. And, later on, we'll see. But, pushing buttons. Okay, right. Pushing buttons and pushing buttons in that way where I wasn't inviting the conversation. Because they were commenting on, it was a hot day and I had a pink beanie on. So a couple people were like, oh, a beanie on this day. And I was like, your fashion knows no weather conditions. But that they're like, oh, pink and blue. And I was like, yeah. Gender is a construct. And just then I'd move on. I didn't let them fight it.
Well, it's not Ken, when you say 2 + 2 = 4, you don't like leave space there for like someone to refute, math.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
just move on.
Was that for? Oh yeah. My aunt cousin. I don't. Baby Gloria. John's her husband. Yes, it was for Blake and his wife Nikki, who is the mayor of Burbank. So I got to hang out with the mayor of Burbank. Steve, I got to meet my congresswoman briefly. Laura Friedman.
Very
She she was there. It was a hobnobbing kind of party with some Modelo. All right, we're almost ready for some calls. Are you ready for some calls?
Always ready. Let's do it.
All right. How did we mess up last time? What did we? No. Okay.
How did we mess up? What did I do?
Okay. Son of a bitch. When I accidentally brought up other people. Oh, that's right. If you leave and I bring people in there.
Oh, that's because my computer, like my power went out, my computer crashed. Stuff
that's
happened.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
So
act of God, not my fault.
Yeah. If Steve's power goes out again, he's dead to us now. All right. On the show, first in, he's been waiting for a bit. 2 strikes. Kyle Harlow checking in. Our buddy Kyle. I think one of the only Cub fans I still know. Kyle, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ken Knapsack, Bird Doctor MD, coming to Paramount Plus this fall. What's up, buddy?
Good, man. I'd love to be on Paramount Plus. Absolutely. How you feeling, buddy? What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I want last time I called in and you were good enough to let me read my manifesto, and let me know if the live stream gets taken down because I said manifesto. So anyway, I went back and watched the tape, and you asked a follow-up question as to whether or not tanking was more of a problem in basketball than other sports. And
tanking. So tanking it. So intentionally losing to get a better draft pick. Was it a bigger problem in basketball than the other sports? Okay, good. I'm refreshing my question. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So I gave you an okay answer. I think the answer, a better answer, is yes. And I think another problem that they really can't do anything about is that the way basketball is, there's only 5 guys on the floor for each team at a time.
Right.
And one player is so much more valuable. And if you have LeBron or Jordan or a guy like that, he can shoot the ball every time down. So it's not like football where you've got 11 guys on a side that have to work together every play. It's not like baseball where you've got, 9 guys, every guy has to hit in order before you go back to the top of the order. Think about how much more valuable Aaron Judge would be if you could just send him to the plate every time, whenever you wanted, pretty much.
Right.
So that's why I think that's another reason why when a really exciting number one pick comes along, everyone's more than happy to go. Cleveland Indians, Major League, Rachel Phelps, throw everybody out, and that guy's dead. Okay, cross him off the list. Just get as bad a roster as you can and go for the number one pick.
So in my mind here, you're not necessarily throwing scientific proof of more tanking in the NBA, but just the emotional idea that I can get behind here, the why of it, that it's just not only is it easier, but it's more important to maybe tank and get one big player, because no matter how good your quarterback is, look at Tua Tagovailoa, who is, I think, a great quarterback, but he can only do so much with the pieces around you. In basketball, you need that one piece.
Yeah. One guy can make a much larger difference in basketball than the other sports, and that's another reason for the tanking.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question: how many nights of sleep did you lose, feeling as though you had not provided the answer that you wanted to?
Several. I tossed and turned. My performance at work suffered. I got an over-the-counter sleeping aid.
You got some. I'm back. You're just chugging NyQuil. All right, It's good to have Kyle back. He's back, baby. He's back. You're getting demerit at work. I appreciate that. Will McLean says, especially for the smaller market teams that don't attract top free agents. Yeah, that could be too. Though I didn't see all the reports. Steve, you're a baseball guy too. And I'm trying to get Steve in here too. But Kyle, you're a baseball guy too. I saw a report that the Pittsburgh Pirates are like technically one of the richest teams in baseball because they haven't spent their money. How can we make these teams spend their money?
I know they do the revenue sharing, so
yeah, they've been hoarding the revenue sharing.
They're just putting it in their pocket.
Yeah. This is like something Cal would do. Like if you split a meal, or like, hey, here's $20 for my order, and I'm heading out, and the meal was $11, and Cal's going to take the other $9. This is what I think the Pirates are doing. Steve, any thoughts on that out there, Steve? Producer Steve?
You want to make them spend money, Ken? That's communism, you damn red bastard.
I think we need a salary floor and a salary cap. We have it in fantasy baseball. Kyle, how many fantasy baseball teams have you been on where the commissioner says, Kyle, you can't dump all those players. You got to maintain a 133 floor.
Oh, we're doing sports radio, baby. We're fixing baseball. Let's do it.
I always fight to the bitter end, but I've seen plenty of guys that give up, and I've seen some collusion in my day.
There you go. All right,
so,
Steve.
Ken, so to answer your question, to be a decent producer, to answer your question, the Pirates have all this money because they, like you said, they hoard all the money. They had a projected opening day payroll this year of $89 million, which is
small.
Not very much at all. Like I think that's that's like a Yankee and a half.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's an Aaron Judge and like half of a Chisholm, something like that.
Yeah.
So that is why that they rake in a decent amount of money. So for merchandise, and they've seen a huge bump because Paul Skeens was a huge
Skeens is great.
That's the most popular pirate since McCutcheon, and that's saying a lot because McCutcheon was pretty popular. But
he's gonna be great until he blows out his arm in 2 years.
Good point.
Yeah.
But that's why.
Yeah, Will McLean says Paul Skeens is going to end up either on the Yankees, Mets, or Dodgers when his contract comes up, and everyone knows it. Yeah, and I think baseball has to fix that, and part of that might be a salary floor. Kyle, you're a Cubs fan still, right?
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
Hey, they're good this year. They're okay this year.
They're good. Do you feel the Cubs have historically put it all on the field? Do you, as a fan, feel satisfied?
In the Tribune days, no. But I think the Ricketts have done better. They kind of, when the 2016 team kind of fell apart, I think some fans have kind of been wanting them to get going sooner, but I think it's coming together now. So
there you go. Coming together now. Much like Kyle at work, now that he's answered the question of tanking, he can get back to his job and do a good job. Kyle, thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate the sports talk.
Yeah, no problem. I'll see you later, bud.
All right, Kyle Harlow, one of the originals, was watching me on Twitch in 2018. I like Paul Skeens. I pulled several Paul Skeens cards from baseball card packs on Sports Card ASMR, Steve, and maybe that kid will make me rich. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Hold on to him. Hold the line on the. Well, no, if you get a good offer for him, sell the shit out of him like that 12-year-old kid did who got offered the. Oh, yeah. Hey, here, kid, we'll give you season tickets. You can sit at a Pirates game with Livy Dune if you'll give Paul Skeens the card back. And he said, no, pound sand. I'll take the $75,000.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd take. Yeah, look, I showed you off here. I'm going to show everyone else here. I pulled this Aaron Judge 2022 Topps Heritage. If it's a PSA 10, and it might be $50. $50 card right there. Look at that.
It's the goods.
That's all I got. We got a call here coming in. Shut up. We got a call coming in here from Cinder, who was at the show Friday night, so maybe we'll get a report card on the show. I haven't seen Brady yet in chat, but I saw. Oh no, there he is. 8984M just says Rockies. Woof. I heard a little bit of Brady's report on Friday night. It was very sweet, and it was wonderful. So get to that. But I do have a question. I've had for the last 3 days. I wouldn't call it a pain, Steve. I wouldn't call it a pain. I wouldn't even call it a pressure. I have like a feeling over here, and I've not been feeling great. What's worse than WebMD? Going to chat to see if they could diagnose me. Have I been drinking enough water, Steve? Why do I have this slight pain? Not even a pain. It just feels like I got something there.
Okay, so I always go to drinking more water. Have you been wearing glasses a lot?
No, maybe I need to wear glasses.
Okay, I was just saying, I don't know if you've been wearing some glasses over there. No, I'm not. I am like Ken. I am. Doctor is one of like the furthest things. I pass out at the sight of blood. I don't like needles. Like you do not want to. I'm also like a hypochondriac. I always think I'm dying myself. So you don't.
See, but you don't think I'm dying. You don't think I'm dying.
No, slight view. Like no. Okay. You haven't had any like blurry vision or like bubbles or anything like that, right? You're all good there. Just like toes, pressure.
Not smell. I hesitate to say pressure because that's not correct, but it's the closest thing to saying like I feel something here. And
all right, just take like 4 Sudafed, see what happens, and if it doesn't go away, then it's not.
I might be a little stuffed. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm slightly more worried. Is my neck tight? I get shooting pains. Yeah, my neck is very tight, Addy. My neck is very tight. The flexibility's bad, but I've been using a little. We have a little thing that was left here that I could use. It's like an automatic, like just that in my neck. That was a horrible sound. It sounded like the thing that tortured Bix in Andor. It's smallpox, says Michael McCarcel. Yeah,
Laser Ball brings up a good point. I hope it's not squirrel related.
First sign of squirrel fever. Alan, who was there Friday night as well too. Did you get a squirrel bite? No. Michael McCarson says it's smallpox. No, no squirrels have been touched. No squirrel. But I got to tell you, I was so close to one the other day. I have footage on my phone that it looks like I've zoomed in. It's not. My phone was literally 3 inches in front of the squirrel. He didn't give a crap. It was like it was Kylo. He was like, I'm eating this nut, man. You do what you do. So in my head, I was like, just pet him. Then I was like, maybe I got some rubber gloves. Maybe I could put on some examination gloves and I can try to pet the squirrel.
I wouldn't go rubber gloves. Start with like an oven mitt. You need a little more protection. Okay. Yeah. You need at least like 5 points of defense there. The rubber glove is like +1. That's not going to do anything for you.
I'm convinced that Squirrely or Kylo would not bite me, that they'd run away. What do you think the odds are on that?
Ken, these are still wild animals. I know that you care about Squirrely and Kylo. I want you to also remember
Worthington Mountbatten II. Okay,
obviously. But there is a chance that you aren't the first person that they've taken peanuts and almonds and things from. Squirrels. Yeah. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty convinced they're probably using someone else 4 houses down too.
Right. So you don't know where they're, I don't want to say that, I don't want to judge Squirrely or any of them and say that they're, somehow, doing things they shouldn't be doing and have things that they're going to give you. But, just everyone has the right idea by wash your hands. That's just, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, Addie's concerned about rabies. I'm concerned about rabies too. And who knows whatever else they're carrying. All right, just a fair question. All right, just wondering. But honest question, is my eye bleeding? No?
That looks good. It's good white color. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. On the phone now is Cinder. But a lot of us learned. I already knew. But a lot of us learned that his name was Jamie. He was at the show Friday night. But he can ask about anything he wants. Cinder, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Um,
Good man. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? What time did you get home that night?
oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I whatever time we left the bar,
Okay,
I made it to the
11ish.
parking garage and well, I went to the bathroom and then all of a sudden everyone was gone and I was like, "Oh, geez, I could have taken Brady to the bus."
Oh yeah, I
But
thought you were gonna tell. Okay, well,
well, I came out of the bathroom and everyone was gone.
that happens sometimes, and
Yeah,
then you
yeah.
just quietly leave. It just you go, you just go ahead. But awesome stuff, my friend. What is so sorry? Michael McCarcel says Ken might actually die if he hit a bong. Yeah, I'm not going to do the devil's lettuce. Cinder, what's on your mind tonight? What can I help you with?
So I'm just calling to defend the honor of 49-year-old white guys in black collared shirts. Um,
Eh.
Cal already called me out in the chat earlier. He said, "Oh, are
Mhm.
you the frat looking dude?" And I'm like, "I,
The
I
frat
guess
looking dude.
so. I,
Hold
I
on.
guess that's a compliment. I'm not sure,
I mean,
but
generally not, but for you, let me bring up the thumbnail again. Let me bring up the thumbnail again. Yeah. You're in the corner. You got a collared shirt on. Now, it wasn't a polo shirt. It was a
it's
short
not.
sleeve collared shirt, which is different. You got Johnny Starlight, we got Tall Brian Tiller, we got Brady, and we got some fat guy in the middle there. So this is yeah. No, I think you looked sturdy. That's what you look like, a strong, strapping lad.
Oh, I appreciate that. And in
Cal.
fact, the outfit did come up during the routine, or no, during the press conference.
During the press conference, which was great. Oh yeah, because you wore, well, that was the thing. You did wear shorts to a public setting, and
Yes.
that's acceptable. It's fine. No one's
Well,
judging
I've
you for that.
learned apparently that's not a California thing.
Really? Who told you that? Me? Did
Well,
I
no,
tell you
that's
that?
my no, that's my observation because I came from Florida where everybody would be in shorts. Where here, I was the only one in shorts.
You were the only one in shorts, and it was a hot night. Now, also at the bar was a local biker gang. No one had shorts on in that group that I could tell.
That is true.
I
Is
don't think
that a
people.
normal occurrence for the
Um,
biker gang to be at the beanery?
no. I didn't catch the what the name of them was. We saw the colors. But I've dealt with it before. There was at the mall when I was in my security days. Definitely, there's some local biker gangs that love to violate some court orders against places where they can be. But they were great. They were great. It was
Yeah, yeah.
hilarious. They were all watching the Dodger game, very clearly written for the Dodgers. So I had to watch my Yankees lose in silence. I couldn't react to it because I didn't want them to see me going, Dodgers suck.
I see. Yeah, it was very unusual. It was almost like, well, being in a bar and the World Cup's on and it was like, oh, USA scored and everyone goes wild,
Yeah,
but it was the Dodgers. But
yeah.
it was weird for me because I'm not from LA. So,
Well,
oh,
yeah,
why
you
are
and
they
Clem.
cheering? Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Dodgers.
Exactly. But yeah, it was good to see you, buddy. I love your story of traveling the world, working remotely, and seeing different parts of the country. I think it's fascinating. And how are you overall enjoying your pass through California at this time? It wasn't your first time through us in LA, right?
I've been to LA a couple other
Yeah.
times. My Oddly enough, my college girlfriend went to USC.
Okay.
And so I flew out here to see her. That was back in the day when, before texting and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So you actually had to fly to see the person or be charged 10 cents a minute on your phone.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my phone bill was like hundreds of
Right.
dollars
That
a
love cost
month.
something back then. Love cost something. Now it's a
It
little
did. It
easier.
did.
Yeah. But how's it been? How have you enjoyed your go around this time? Because you've actually kind of been getting a lay of the land.
I gotta say, so it's funny because I don't know how many people listened to Ken's post today, the Monday morning post. That really hit me because, you talked about community and I actually lived in DC area
Mm.
for like 25 years.
Well.
And then I moved down to Florida to be near my parents.
Hmm.
And I lived in Miami for a year. And the vibe in Miami is not, it's very different. Like
Mm.
I had the hardest time like making friends, like fitting in. It just feels very superficial,
Hmm.
I guess you
Okay.
could say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I could see
it's
that.
funny being on the East Coast, people say that, oh, that's what LA is like.
Hmm.
That, oh, everyone out there is fake. They're just trying to use you. Da, da, da. Well, coming here and going to the bar and meeting Brady and meeting everybody. Oh, I'm also calling in to represent Brady,
Hmm.
because he's working on something
Yeah.
for school, and just meeting everyone and how friendly everyone was, and I don't know. I feel like California, or at least this area, is very welcoming, and
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to talk to people, and
I
everyone has a story.
Yeah.
So if you need something to talk about, you just ask them what their story is. And
Yeah. That's
when you hear
fascinating.
someone's story, you can
Mm-hmm.
relate to it somehow,
I appreciate
And
that perspective. I agree with it. And look, I think every city's going to have that, especially a big city. I haven't been to Miami. I don't know that vibe. New York, it's brusque, it's fast, it's a little grumpy, and I love that. I fit right in when I'm in New York too. But yeah, there's pockets of LA. Yeah, if you're going to go out to a nightclub in Hollywood, you might find a bunch of fake people. Yeah, absolutely. If you're stuck in the studio system, you might be backstabbed by a few of them there. But what industry doesn't have that? And the Valley certainly isn't in Hollywood, and downtown in Santa Monica, it's all different. But yeah, no, I absolutely, for the years I've been here, 27 years, call it bias. I don't know. I just think it's full of a lot of great people, and the reputation of some starlets, whatever it might be, or a Kardashian show, is not earned on this city. That stuff's present, yes, but you got to experience the people that are here. Brian Tiller coming up an hour plus,
that's
dedicating his
exactly what
time.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
That people are willing to take buses and trains and drive through Dodger Stadium traffic to come and
yeah.
be with a community. I
Yeah.
thought was awesome.
I think it's a good point. I'm glad you were there, buddy. It was good to meet you in person, share a drink. I appreciated the drinks you were generous enough to pick up for me, and I got home in one piece and safely and soundly, and it was a great night. And I'm very, very happy that you were there. I apologize for the shorts thing. I know Mark and I called out
No,
the shorts from stage. I just,
no,
what
don't
I
apologize. And I brought it on myself because
by wearing the
I asked.
shorts. Yeah.
I no, and by asking about it at the press conference, like, what's the worst thing someone could wear?
Well, that was
That
that
was
was the thing. You asked us what's the worst thing someone could wear to a comedy show, and literally because there wasn't anyone in the front row, you were the front row, and it's like Mark and I were both like, well, we can see down your legs right now. You're the problem. You're the problem. A low cut top is not going to distract me. Your legs are going to distract me right now. So yeah, no, it was a great question, and I really appreciated you being there, buddy.
wear my flip flop.
You didn't wear the flip flops. That's where I would have drawn the line. Public flip flops. I got issues with Cinder. I got issues with. Okay. Thank you, buddy, for calling in. I appreciate it. Okay.
Cool. It's great to see you.
All right. Great to see you. Great to see you. Yeah. Steve Addy pointed out, says, wow, Ken has clothing opinions. I don't know what y'all want from me. What do you want from me, Steve?
I mean, it's okay for you to say, "Hey, I don't want to wear shorts because it's not my bag." But I like wearing shorts. Ken, my calves are like, after my hair and my eyelashes, my calves are probably my favorite physical feature of myself. So I'm gonna smoke them if you got them.
Addy says this. It's just men. Can I wear shorts and flip flops?
Ken,
Maybe.
be very careful. Go,
Maybe.
careful.
Maybe.
Careful, Ken.
Look, can a lady or a lady? Yeah, you're right, Steve. Be careful. Yes, you can.
Sorry,
pull it
Donald
off,
Trump is
but-
president. You can go back to telling women what to wear. Ken.
That's right.
fine.
That's right. Let me tell you. Yeah, I ain't telling anyone what to wear, but a lady is gonna pull it off a lot better than a schlub like me. That's the point. I think I like being, and I'm not a fashion plate. All right, but I like being surrounded by, when it's right, red carpet ready folks. And that's all. Let's turn it up a notch, right? It's a baby shower. I'm going to wear a pink beanie on a 100-degree day. Why? Because that's the thing to do. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And, I wear workout clothes. I got workout pants on right now. I might go to the store like this. I look horribly schlubby. So I don't need everyone to be top-notch all the time. And Cinder, by the way, looked great. He's a good-looking dude. He's in great shape. He had a nice fitted collared shirt on. They weren't cargo shorts. They weren't draping. He presented well. I got no problem with that, Steve. You and your calves, I'll make a judgment call when I see him.
Okay. I mean, I'm not confident in many things, but my calves are one of those. So you will take my shorts from my cold dead hands.
I'm always worried about emergencies, Steve. Okay?
Okay.
So my question to you is, you're out in public with shorts, and let's say you skip the sandals. Let's say you got some shoes on or whatever.
Oh, I'm in total dad mode now. Pretty much every pair of shoes I own now are those Hey Dudes that you just are slip-ons. They don't have laces or anything. That's all I wear now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. How high are the socks?
Oh, I'm a millennial, baby. I wear ankle socks. I am a full-blooded millennial. We wear ankle socks still all day. You will also take my ankle socks from my cold dead hands.
My socks go to my thighs, quite frankly. I hate the feeling of socks below when I feel socks on my shins, like right now.
Yeah.
I got like white workout socks, and so I feel them. Drives me crazy. So socks, you made the right call on the socks. I just if you're out and about. Mm-hmm. And a zombie strike happens, and you're in shorts. Mm-hmm. I don't think you have a good enough chance fighting out of that situation in shorts. I think you need some sturdy jeans on. I worry about that.
Okay. If that's your number one, then I feel pretty good still about my decision. But to refute that, again, I work on the calves, so I feel pretty good about my kick game. If I really need to.
And do you
but
think
the scratch and the biting, I know it is a liability. I get it,
Yeah.
So I just would kind of take that out of my arsenal, the whole kick game, until I found myself some good tactical khakis.
But at least you got shoes on.
Yep.
And that's the important thing. If you have to run, because
the Hey Dudes I can run in. Yeah,
okay,
we're good there.
A bomb went off, or there's some kind of horrible situation. I'm not talking about two real situations here, but you know what I mean. Or you're getting in a street fight. I don't think you want shorts and sandals on. That's I live with that in my head.
I see you on the sandals. If I get into a street fight, it doesn't matter what I'm wearing, Ken. I'm probably going to get my ass kicked. I'm not very strong.
It's not about strong. It's about how willing are you to bite human flesh. That's the difference right there.
Oh, okay. We fight very differently. But okay.
I fight to win, Steve. I fight to win.
You sound like you fight to survive, but yes, I hear you. I hear you.
One of my favorite things to do when we'd be tackling someone at the old job, I always took their shoes off. So if we're wrestling around with them, I would take their shoes off and throw them. So if they were able to get up and run, they wouldn't run as far as if they had their shoes on. Just a little arresting tactic trick for all of you out there who want to
put that in my back pocket. Yeah, thank you for that.
Cinder says, I'm glad we're having this important conversation. World-changing conversation here. We got a call lined up here. Eli's calling in. Excited to have Eli on the show. Eli, how are you doing, and how willing are you to bite human flesh?
That was absolutely not the question. I was expecting.
It's my question, Eli. It's my question. All right?
Bite human flesh is
Look, let me throw out the scenario with you're at a bar with Nikki Kumar and Alden Diaz. We know Alden Diaz's mouth. It's going to get him in trouble at least once an evening. A fight starts. You're in the middle of it because you're trying to protect your friends. Because I know you, Eli. You're a loyal human. How willing are you to bite to get Alden out of the situation?
I also need to know. I feel like some more information about these attackers, but probably pretty willing. But
that's all it is.
I'm gonna go with the safe, undefined, pretty willing.
Here's the thing. With Alden, most likely the attackers will be fellow Star Wars podcasters.
Yes. Oh, you didn't have to fill in that part. I gathered. I gathered that. Yeah.
Eli, I appreciate you calling in. I saw you over the May 4th weekend for Rise of Skywalker. Good to have you here. What is your question?
So I've been reading a bunch about this, probably to my own detriment, but whatever. It's. I know you and Alden have talked about this on any time in the past and all that kind of stuff, but I'm still like stuck on this thing of I was reading an article about generative AI.
Generative AI.
Generative AI specifically, like in the classroom, because I'm like interested in that. My mom has an education background, and like I know it's really concerning. It's like really, really concerning. Like there was this article I was reading that I saw on Blue Sky, and there was this one part that I shared with a few mutual friends of ours that said that I thought was like really beautifully written from a lecturer that says, ChatGPT isn't its own unique problem. It's a symptom of a totalizing cultural paradigm in which passive consumption and regurgitation of content becomes the status quo. And then like it talks about like the terms like content creators and consumers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like, there's stuff with like critical thinking just going like already was falling down the toilet, and now it's like falling down even more. And I just like, I don't know. Do you think there's any way out of this?
Is there any what? Sorry, it's the last part.
Think there's any way out of this?
No, I don't. And a friend of mine, look, there's a lot of concerns with it. There's the copyright issues, the theft. There's people using it for shortcuts. There's, hey, look, I wrote a novel, and there's job loss. I've lost 2 jobs to AI. There's the environmental impact. I would argue that a lot of things probably have an environmental impact, including this podcast, which will live forever on a server somewhere. There's things we have to deal with. But I also get thrown like, hey, I got people in my life who are like, we should get rid of electric cars because the grid can't handle it. I'm like, well, then let's fix the grid, because I think I'd rather fix that than burn more coal. So there's all that I don't shy away from. I'm trying to understand it. But I'm going to repeat something that a friend said to me who uses AI to help run his business and manage his life. And he was talking to a professor friend of his who was like, we're trying to get it out of schools and this, that. And my friend said, why? Your job as an educator is to prepare kids for the future. Their future will have AI. Why are you cutting it out of their life? You are not preparing them for the future that they're going to live in. And once he said that, it started to change the way I looked at the problem. And I do think it is a problem still, because a lot of things you're talking about, this article, Eli, I agree with. The loss of humanity is big. The content curation, just flipping through Instagram Reels like I am, that kind of aspect of it. I see it.
And I'm not saying I'm completely innocent. I flip through Instagram Reels probably more than I should anyway. But
but it's indicative of a bigger problem, right? Yeah. But you could also say text message. I had a conversation that I've had with police officers 10 years ago who were like, we are seeing a younger generation that does not know how to communicate with human beings in person. So when given a tough situation, they go to their hip, aka their gun, faster than we do or ever did. This was a senior police officer in LAPD's Devonshire Division talking about in 2014. This was that Michael Brown tragedy that happened in outside St. Louis. He's like, we are seeing younger officers who lack a simple ability to problem solve, critical think, and interact. And so I think that's what you're talking about, Eli, and I don't disagree with that. The final thing I'll say, and I think I've been sitting on this, and I think people I know will get upset with me, but no one I know who says don't use ChatGPT actually understands what it does. And the people in my life who do use it, including my now former fiance, it has changed their life. And they use it for ways that no one else seems to understand what it's for yet. And I don't use it. And I have a lot of questions. But I also use Perplexity, which is an AI search engine that has absolutely changed the way in which I put together projects. It's cut the time in half. So I'm not going to lie and say I don't use it. So for me, Eli, jury's out. I think there's a lot of tribalism that is formed up around it. And I see both sides. But I also have seen, like, I get upset. I have some friends who call anyone who uses ChatGPT as a moron. Great. You just insulted 5 important people in my life. You just insulted 5 very important people in my life who use it regularly, but they don't use it for the reasons you think they're using it for. And if we can just have that conversation, Eli, I think maybe we'll find a way to not let the AI overlords win. Because the biggest problem at the end of the day is probably capitalism.
Yeah.
And capitalism has its hands on AI, and that's the worry. Yeah.
It's last week tonight is like, they go like, they have this like broad issue and like they dig into why it's an issue, and the issue is almost always because capitalism just kind of ruined this.
Yeah. But not to say, Eli, and Eli, I'm going to say, I love that you asked this, because I have been sitting on this silently for about 4 months, where I do not feel I can have the AI conversation with a lot of people in my life, because it induces a lot of passion and anger. And I think we need to start having the conversation. And I'd be fascinated to read that article, because again, I think you're saying a lot. Not you, but the things in that article that I probably agree with, especially environmental impact.
It was more nuanced than I thought, and I admit that I think I'm probably like predisposed because of like stuff in the creative space to be a bit more against it than even maybe I should. But there's like, and I agree like with what Laserbolt said earlier. It's not the AI that we need to worry about. It's all the crooked people who use it to fool us for money. And I saw this. I'm mad at myself on this here. I think I saw this on an Instagram reel or something like that. But that somebody was pointing out, like, when the printing press was invented in like the 15th century or whatever it was, all of the like elites became worried because now like it became easier for the peasants and the lower classes to read and to write and to like do all ideas. And like when new technology comes out, often like the elites are terrified, but like you see, these like CEOs and people like full on embracing AI, and it's like the chasing of it. And that's something that like is very unlike a lot of technology. This is not to say
I agree with that.
Like generative AI bad, but it's just saying I'm like suspicious.
Eli, I 100% agree with you. Not unlike rainbow capitalism, right? That we're once again going to deal with this month, where suddenly you should be really suspicious that that department store you go to is suddenly now like, we got Pride too. Like, come on in for the Pride sales. Yeah, I really agree with you that's the one big difference versus say, cars being built by machines and not humans, which, was its own kind of problem, but probably inevitable as well. But once you start, again, I lost 2 jobs. I am struggling financially because 2 times now, 2022 and beginning of this year, lost my job to AI. So I am tremendously concerned about that. But I got to find my way through it. So anyways, food for thought. I don't know. And again, I'm not the expert on it here. I don't fully use it.
Either. It's just that there's so much of like a there was this article, and then there was an article, I believe it was in the Atlantic, that I read like a month or 2 ago, that was just like, and maybe this is a problem like with just critical thinking in general, where students are being asked to do like simple tasks for things in their like respective grades, and they just like don't know, and it's not necessarily their fault even, it's just like a systemic problem. And it's like in the death of critical thinking, in like the when so many people think like Elon Musk like got where he got because he was a genius and not because he had all of these structural advantages,
including like, blood diamond money.
Including emeralds, including apartheid emeralds. I'm gonna post the link to the article I was talking about in the comments, so people can check it out. Unfortunately, after a certain point, it is paywalled, and I can't find a way to remove that. But you get a fair bit of it, honestly. From this,
I absolutely appreciate that. Now, Eli, see, look at this, Steve. We go from will you bite human flesh to try to tackle the AI issue in one call. That's what we promise here.
Yeah, we're so well-rounded, Ken.
Steve's getting out of hand. All right, Eli, thank you for calling in, buddy.
No, absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Ken.
All right, Eli checking in with the important things there. I feel good, Steve. I've been waiting to have that start of a conversation. I've been dropping hints.
You've been waiting for like a soft launch, your opinion on that, and that felt like a good way to wade into the water.
Yes, because it will cost me some friendships. Okay. It will, absolutely. Some people are so hardline on it. And I get it. And that's the thing too, is I really, like I said, with like I get everything you're saying is right, but also I don't think you understand what it's actually for. It isn't just for writing emails or publishing a novel. Like it isn't that. It's and I've seen it. I saw my fiance's anxiety drop 80% because she had a AI companion now running parts of her life for her that she had got overwhelmed by. I saw it change her. And so when I have some people who I maybe used to work with in the movie space or something who get on there and be like, these morons, like, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't even know what ChatGPT is. Like, get out of here. You think it gives bad recipes on Google. Get out of here. Like, that's not the conversation we need to have, Steve. So I soft launched it. I feel better.
I'm glad you feel better. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people not understanding the art from productivity side of it. People just assume almost all AI is just stealing people's art and stealing people's ideas and stealing people's words. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Without getting too far into things, I'm familiar with some of it based on what I do for work, and it is one of those things that people just it's if your only knowledge of it is what you see on TikTok or the nightly news. It's not, it's just one of those things you have to do your research on to understand it better. But there are certainly concerns. I'm not one of those people saying, oh, no, there's a shit ton that's wrong with it. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And it's also, it's not good for the environment, all sorts of stuff. A lot of reasons.
But great article today that the water that Arizona needs to use for AI, I'm summarizing a headline because I do not have the whole thing in front of me right now. The water that AI needs to use in Arizona, they won't get it because all the cows from the meat we're eating are taking all the water. Cows, meat, the meat industry continues to be the thing that destroys most of our water supply in this country anyways, as well as the complicated water issues. Watch Climate Town on that one. I'm so not an expert on that, but just you see stuff like that, there's an ongoing conversation. But anyways, I don't know. I'm not. I use it for some things, and there you go.
Well, there's your thumbnail if you really want this video to pop off. Cows versus AI. You know how many people? You know how many weirdos you'll get to?
I might put it in there. But it will get. It will absolutely cause problems. I have a friend who went very public with some pro AI stuff, and it has cost her.
I think it's important to. I think, and we'll see this eventually as it gets more mainstream. It's not so much pro versus anti AI, because you can be as anti AI as you want. You are using it or benefiting it from some way. If you have a smartphone in your pocket, if you're using Google, if you're like, it's infiltrated everything at this point in some small way, whether it's language learning models, whatever, what have you. But I totally see where we want to protect art and original ideas and thought. I don't think anyone's really on the whole board of like, oh yeah, no, screw all of that, right? So Ken, it's 2025. Nuance is dead. You should know that by now.
Nuance is dead. But here's the thing: even when I got replaced. At the full-time writing job I had, I saw it starting to happen, right? Because suddenly, instead of editing other writers' scripts, I was editing an AI version of the script, and it was so much easier, and it made so much more sense to me that I was like, "Oh, I'm going to lose this job, aren't I?" And they were like, "No, we need you because you get what we do, and AI isn't perfect, and everything." And then they said, "Oh, by the way, you're done." So yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. All right. Okay, it's almost time to go. Because I'm going to go to a drag show, but we do have a couple calls. I don't mean to, and hopefully there's AI at the drag show. I'm not on StreamYard.
That's just a great. I might cut that out just on its own. I have to go because I have to go to a drag show. I love that, especially on a Monday night. That's just like I said, hell of a way to spend your Monday. Love it.
All right, let's bring in straight from Mets country, Sean. Check it in. How you doing, Sean? I know that you're willing to bite human flesh, so I don't even need to ask you that question.
Listen, nothing's fair in a fight.
Nothing is fair in a fight. Nothing is fair in a fight. And again, I once threw hot coffee at someone I was fighting to. Like, is it right morally? No, but I won that day. Sean. Indeed,
man. And listen, it's all about how you use it. You know, we were just talking about this whole. Hey, this whole Trojan horse maneuver that the Ukrainians pulled off the other night was fantastic.
Oh my God. I'm wearing my Ukrainian hat because this is the best episode of Andor I've ever watched, other than it's fucking real. I didn't know to today, Sean, that the drone strike happened from within the house. The call came from within the house in Russia. Amazing.
I want the driver of that truck to be named Han. Like that's just a smuggler move right there.
Han, Cassian, Luthen. War is ugly. You know more than anyone, Sean. But hey, when it comes time to pull off things of impressive feats, maybe it's because I also the night before I watched the Osama bin Laden Manhunt doc series, and it was
Good one.
gripping and spellbinding. So anyway, Sean, what is on your mind tonight?
No, it's been a great conversation all around. The AI bit, here's a thought, man. That gets copyrighted, trademarked, the same as anything else would intellectually, right?
Yeah.
It's about you using it as a tool.
Yeah. No, and look, there's what is that? H Bomber guy has a great 4-hour video on the plagiarism on YouTube that has nothing to do with AI. And that was the thing too. I don't just if I search something, unless it's a stat that I know, I'll number one, I'll confirm the source. Two, I don't just copy and paste it. But I do find a lot of YouTube writing is that. And that's been the standard for the entire run of YouTube. Someone else has an article. Let's just copy those 3 sentences in there and make $1 million off the views we're going to get. That's been a problem without AI. So we got to find a way to, I don't regulate, I don't know, whatever. But I don't trust anyone individually or corporations to use things morally. But that's part of it too. But yeah,
I hear you, man. It's a dynamic world right now.
It is. It's changing. There you go. Was that your question? Sorry, did I step on your question, Sean? Maybe I did. I don't know.
It's all good.
Okay.
I actually want to know what was like the icebreaker for you the other night. What got you really in the groove when you were going up the other night?
On stage or the rums after or before? No.
Right before you were starting the gig.
I was tremendously out of sorts. Tremendously out of sorts. Yeah, and it was, and I talked about it on a Monday morning show today. But like I had really had put the time in this week to try to write some stuff, and I just wasn't feeling it. And my friend Jen Miro came up to me and grabbed me by the with her hands, grabbed my cheeks, gave me a nice little supportive kiss on the cheek, and said, "You're not here. Like what's wrong, honey? You're not here." And that helped calm me down. So Jen sometimes swings through the chat. I don't think she's here tonight, but if you're listening later, Jen, it was great. And then just seeing it was a room full of familiar friends, which sometimes can be worse. I'd rather be in front of a crowd that does not know me. That's a truer test of the material. But I think I needed the community that night. So once I got out there, I did a little bit about dead celebrities and the artwork that people share that Ken Bloom and I actually have been kind of working on together on a Fortnite match. I was like, I'm going to try this on stage. I tried it. Had not worked a couple weeks ago. Tried it. I got a laugh. And I was like, okay, this crowd's here and I'm present. And it was a good show because of that.
Yeah, it sounds like
There's Jen. Yeah. There you X's and O's. Yeah, it really, because Jen knows me as a friend and she saw me. She's seen me pre-show anxious. But she just did probably the Long Island mother thing and grabbed me and said, "You're not here. Be like, what's going on?" And it was really, it helped me calm me down. So Jen, I love you dearly, as you know.
Love you too, Jen. Good job all around, everybody, man. It was a great picture. You, Brady, Cinda, the whole lot of yous.
It was a good time. We'll do it in New York. We'll do it in New York soon. We got to get out there again.
All the best, my man.
All right, thank you, Sean. Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, and when Jen gave me this very sweet kiss on the cheek, and I was like, the king and father, Princess Bride, when he gets the kiss, and he's like, got that. I was just like, I feel good. Feel good.
No, my favorite icebreakers, Ken, are always what was the last thing that totally changed your mind about something? Like, when was the last time that someone or something convinced you were wrong about something, or that like something happened and you felt really strong about one thing, but now you feel totally the other way about it?
There's a lot of things. That thing I mentioned, I won't say my friend's name because I don't know if he wants to get into the fight. But the thing I said about AI and him telling his professor friend, "Why are you so proud about cutting AI out? You are not preparing these kids for the future." It reminded me of suddenly calculators showing up or computers or everything it struck me, and I had been more of on the side of bitter also because I'd lost a job. But I'd been on the side of, I don't know. And he said that, and I was like, I still think there's a lot of questions that clearly I've stated tonight, but I was like, that just completely was a tectonic shift in my thinking of it.
Yeah, man. Oh man, all those teachers who told us growing up, you're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket, you suckers.
Yeah, I went all the way to trigonometry. I went to trigonometry. I can't add like baseball card prices without help these days.
Oh, I went to journalism school, Ken. I don't know anything about numbers.
You don't need numbers.
So, what are you gonna do?
You don't need no numbers.
I don't need numbers.
There you go. All right, final call of the night here. Then I'm going to get out to a drag show. I'm just going to ride that into the ground. It's just, you know why?
You should. I mean, you're only
You know
going
why?
to use that so much, right?
You know why? Because none of you know quiet little Kenny. Like maybe you know in the early schmoes days, I was starting to emerge from some of that, but I had started to change a little bit, mid 2000s. But I was the quietest, virginist, non-rebel rousing kid ever. Follows all the rules. I still kind of do. And going a drag show shouldn't be rebellious, by the way. A drag show should be something you get to experience. But it's funny to hear me say that compared to who I was 25 years ago. And I was telling my cousin, so my cousin, I think he's in her early 30s now, but her and her twin brother, both 30s, and his brother was the one with the pregnant wife for the baby shower. Anyways, my cousin Morgan used to be just the sweetest, quietest, most reserved kid, and she's still just a sweetheart and just a great person. But like she manages a restaurant in Vegas. She's great with alcohol. She carries around a bottle opener. She's like, I got this. And then like when she went and like chugged the beer, I was like, I'm really proud of you. When did you know that you had become that person? We were joking about that. Whereas like I had known it because I was at a strip club in Vegas and I recognized a dancer from a strip club in LA. And I was like, I am not little Kenny anymore. I am not church boy Kenny. I am not. And she was laughing. She was just time. But anyways, so that's what tonight's about. Let loose.
That sounds amazing. That is awesome, and I hope you have a fantastic time.
I will. All right. Speaking of fantastic times, let's close this goddamn showdown with Kingsport Cal. Kingsport Cal. How many times have you been at one strip club and recognized a dancer from another?
Actually, I'm not a strip club guy, but I have been to a couple drag shows in Johnson City, Tennessee, at
Beautiful.
Pharaoh's, which is no longer there, and New Beginnings, which I'm not quite sure is there.
Yeah.
But yes, I enjoyed myself. At Pharaoh's, I went with my girlfriend at the time, and she had to. I'd be like, "Oh man," during the shows, I'd be like, "Man, that chick looks great." She's like, "Calvin, that's." I was like, "I know, but it's okay."
Yeah.
But anyway, those were
Love it.
fun. Then one time, I used to go to Pharaoh's by myself until one day I was hit on by a lady of the night,
Okay.
and she gave me a card. And when
Okay.
she gave me that card, I looked down at her hands.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. But
Okay.
anyway,
All right. Calloused sword. Who knows? But it's nice to be invited to play in the game, right, Cal?
well, the gay bars are just way much more fun. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
great.
They're
I
great.
do know what you're saying. They're amazing. As I've said before, I feel as though I shouldn't be in them because it is a sanctuary for people who get to finally be who they want to be within these walls, because that's unfortunately the only places they can. But when I do go, oh my God, it is the unbridled joy that is present is amazing.
Well, yeah, I've never had a bad experience. Every time what's like I said, I'll go with my girlfriend, and they will find out they know that you're straight, and they still want to mess with you, but they don't
Oh, they
mess
know.
with you hardcore. But they
Yeah.
embrace that you're there. You don't
Yeah.
care, you're there, and they're like, hey, we have fun. We're not crazy.
Well,
We're not weird.
if you walk in a polo shirt, cargo shorts, and sandals and flip flop, they know. They know. All
That
right, Cal.
explains so much for me now. But continue.
What does it
I've got-
explain, Steve?
Well,
Steve, what
what-
does it explain to you?
Just experiences at my bachelor party years ago. That's all.
Okay.
See, there you go. All right, Cal. I do seriously have to go. I have to catch a lift soon. But so I'm not running you off. I just like leaving you for the grand finale. So what do you got tonight?
I've got to explain this bayonet. Okay, the bayonet is it's from 1891. It's stamped
Okay.
on the blade. It is
Okay.
German,
It is
and
German.
the internet is trying to tell me that it's a M1905 bayonet, which it's not. It's a M0190 bayonet. And this
M0190 bayonet.
will not be able to find it because the most common is the M1905. This is
Okay.
M0190, which
You know
is
you
more.
you sound like AI at this point. You're just spitting out numbers. I don't know.
This
M9
is
bayonet. Okay.
one, and this had to be used in World War One. This had to.
So if it was made in 1891, but it gets brought along to 1914, 15, 16 range, yeah, and gets into World War One. Okay.
Yeah, because it can't be the Civil War because Civil War was before that. Now they also did use these in World War Two too.
I
So it
understand
could,
that. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. It could have been grandfathered into the Second Great War. Laserbolt says sounds uber rare, and you should trust Laserbolt because I'm going to tell you, I think he probably has more knives and bayonets than he's letting on in public. So, Kingsborough Cow, what are you going to do with this bayonet?
I'm just going to keep it. But one of the main differences, Lazy Bolt, is the M1, the
Mm-hmm.
M1, the M0. The M1
Yeah.
has either has wood or leather on the handle. This one does not. This one is straight up metal all the way through, and it's riveted.
Okay.
Anyway, but no,
Better for killing. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to
All right.
keep it, and
All right.
it's all good. It's all good. But I did
Yeah.
want to ask though,
Yeah.
Ken, did you at the show, did you have that? Was there a point where you were playing off energy from the audience? You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, I do understand. Yeah, no, I don't do. I'm not great at crowd work, but I do like to what I call crowd manage. If I was like in a briefing back in my security days when I was a supervisor or director of security, like I would do crowd work. I'd try to involve everyone in the room. And that's what I try to do with my stand up. I did a little bit. Like I talked to Johnny Starlight a little bit. Sometimes I pull off of it, but yeah. Last night, I did 2 shows last night. And in the front row of one of the shows, there was a group of girls, and they had just great energy, and one was playing along, and you're able to pull along. I don't like doing the, hey, where are you from? What do you do? How long you been married type of stuff, but I like to kind of involve them in a conversation. The thing about stand-up, there's a big debate about crowd work these days. And you have people like Jeselnik who are against it or don't do it anymore, and you have people like acquaintance I know, Mike Falzone, who's just an absolute master at it. Comedy's comedy. What's that?
no, I love Mike Falzone.
Mike Falzone is just, first of all, just a great soul. I don't know him super well, but we see each other at the store every now and then. But he doesn't just do crowd work. He's just being himself, and I think that's the difference. I think I try not to just do crowd work because the crowd's also like my second show last night. There was this great couple in the crowd that had this. The comic before me had kind of talked to them about their engagement, and it was a weird story, but she wasn't getting all the information from them. So I went up to try to talk to them. They did not want any part of it. There is a kind of like, hey, we don't want to be in your show type atmosphere. So sometimes when I see that where other comics will push harder, I pull back and try to change because I just don't want to lose an audience like that. But on Friday night, there were some moments with that where you're playing with the crowd.
Well, Ken, I understand what you mean by crowd work, but that's not exactly what I meant. What I meant was the high, the energy that you get from knowing that it's working from the audience.
Oh,
It's
well,
coming to you, and you
it
get
calms
it.
me down. Cal, I apologize. This is a great way. It's a great thing because I do still struggle with stand up a lot mentally. And a lot of it is the shy 12-year-old comes out, little Kenny, and he doesn't feel safe and he feels judged and he feels nervous to be there. And he feels like the imposter syndrome sets in. So on nights like Friday night, where beyond just getting laughs, but you're feeling it, and in your head, you're like, oh, this is working. I have them. I really, really calm down. The sweat disappears. I sweat. It's not flop sweat. I'm a Chris Farley up there. There's a lot of sweat forming because of what I'm doing on stage and the lights. But I calm down, I cool down, and I can feel it. So there was a moment in the middle of the set. And it doesn't mean everything's going to hit from there on out, that every bit's a round of applause or applause break, but I just feel present. And I've got to bottle that up sooner. I've got to find that within myself and not rely on the audience.
Well, Ken, sounds great. What improv did the Sunday 2 shows, or did you already have that planned?
I'm supposed to be a regular over there on the list, and every week I send in my veils, and I just didn't get booked for a long time. Don't know what was going on. But Sunday I had one show, and then they emailed me a couple hours before that show and asked me to pop into another, and I've got another one this Sunday, so hopefully more happen. And that helps too. Repetition is needed in comedy. So there you go. As Kyle Harlow said, I settled down in the 4th inning. All right,
Well,
Cal.
that's all I got. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you're doing all right. I hope your drag show goes well. I don't know about this t-shirt with a tie. That sounds kind of weird, but okay. But whatever. I'll see you
We'll
when I
see.
you.
We'll see how it goes. I might try to put on a collared shirt like a normal person, so
Cool.
Steve will be happy for me or not shamed of me. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, Cal. Thank you, brother.
I'll see you, man.
All right, shout out to Mumbo Jimbo in chat. Says hello there. Going through some really tough personal times these days, as I know others are. You and Forsen crew really help. Mumbo Jimbo, really appreciate that. Sorry you're going through that. Yes, truly, you're not alone. It doesn't necessarily help make your situation better, but it does help to know that you have a community around you. So you're always welcome here to hang out with us and just feel better for an hour or so. And, we talk about important things like cows, AI, and, do you want to eat human flesh in a fight? But Jimbo, much love to you in your situation. It's been a tough day for me as well. Tough day tomorrow for some we know here, and a tough week ahead. And Steve, I know you've been battling through undisclosed things too, and it's we all going through it. It's nice to know we just have each other.
Exactly, and that's why we're here. That's why we love this community that is around on all these days that we are here on the show, and we get through it together. So it's all good. Everyone has their own thing, but that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. All right, Steve, I think we did it for a show with no plan. It went 30 minutes longer than I needed, so that's okay, right? We did it.
Sounds about right.
But Thursday we'll be back. We'll do something. Maybe we'll pull one of your fancy bits over from Blathering backstage. How about that?
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure. Yeah, we'll see. But I appreciate that. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
There you go. Oh, and 898. Oh, sorry, we can't leave. 898 for him gave a super chat. I didn't see that. What dynamic duo would you describe you and Ellis? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm slightly offended that you all chose Shaq for me and gave Kobe to Mark.
You really? Why? Why does that offend you?
I
Why?
get it.
Hold
like
on,
Shaq.
now let's unpack this. Yeah,
I like
Why?
Shaq, but you're looking at my gut and you're thinking we got to go with the big guy. He's got to be. He's Bill Laimbeer, and Mark is John Stockton. I know they weren't.
Are you gonna say live on the internet, Ken, that you have a better jump shot than Mark Ellis?
No, I don't.
Okay, well then
I don't.
I rest my case, sir.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. There you go, Brady. Your answers on the show were great. We'll be back Thursday. This is an audio podcast. If you're listening there, let me know so I can keep putting it up there. Like the video if you're watching. Appreciate everything. We'll see you next time. Bye.